Hello, Crest residents. Thank you for joining me today for this month's virtual Brain Boosters episode. My name is Jillian Perry, and I am the Resident Services Coordinator for the Highline Overlook neighborhood. Resident Services is a team of employees available to you, residents of Crest Independent Living. As you navigate both the joy-filled and the hard times, we believe in being approachable and responsive to your well-being. Every interaction we share, you can expect a warm reception, trusting that what matters to you matters to us. We partner with you to provide comprehensive information about supportive resources tailored to your personal circumstances so that you can make informed decisions. Because when we do, you have the opportunity to be heard and cared for, helping you live your best life. If you would like to be emailed a direct link to the newest Brain Boosters video each month, I am more than happy to send those to you. My contact information will be listed at the end of this video, and you're welcome to call or email me. I invite you to reach out to Resident Services if you have any questions about Brain Boosters or other support group offerings here at Crest. Today's Brain Boosters episode may be a little bit shorter than normal. I'm not positive yet, but I picked out two talks hosted by different speakers that I have put in the description box below, and also they will pop up on the screen at the end of this video for you to click on to view if you're interested. So let's jump right into it then. We are social creatures, and throughout our lives, we depend on each other to survive. We are driven to seek out caring, compassionate, and positive relationships in our efforts to connect with others. Relationships extend well beyond those that are romantic in nature and include those with family members, friends, and neighbors. According to the Mental Health Foundation, a relationship is the way in which two or more people are connected, or the state of being connected. Think about who you might find yourself connected to. Researchers believe that we spend approximately 80% of our time with others, which is why maintaining positive relationships is so important for us. Our need to feel that we belong is a major driving force behind our desire to seek out such connections. Think about who your favorite person is with whom to share good news, quiet moments, funny stories, frustrations, or even silly observations. We regularly turn to different people for different reasons, and on any given day, we engage in a variety of relationships, from coordinating our day with our friends or children, collaborating with other community members, and saying hello to our neighbors. Loving relationships sustain us, define us, and keep us healthy. Not only does building positive relationships make us happier, improve our feelings of security, and provide meaning to our lives, it also affects our physical, mental, and cognitive well-being. With regard to physical health, one study found that a lack of social connection is a greater risk to health than obesity, smoking, and high blood pressure. Furthermore, people who experience frequent loneliness have higher rates of an array of devastating health conditions or issues, such as mortality, morbidity, which is having more than one chronic health condition, infection, cognitive decline, inflammation, and cardiovascular disease. Strong, healthy relationships can also help to strengthen your immune system, help you recover from disease, and may even lengthen your life. Mental health can also suffer when you experience feelings of loneliness. Social connectedness has immense benefits on mental health and lessening existing symptoms of mental illness. People who are socially connected experience lower rates of depression and anxiety, feel more empathetic to others, have higher self-esteem, are more trusting towards others, exhibit less antisocial behaviors, and have lower rates of suicide and suicidal behaviors. As for the detrimental effects to cognitive well-being, unfortunately, they accumulate slowly and may go unnoticed for many years. Many studies have found that chronic social isolation is associated with cognitive decline, and the isolation often precedes decline by several years. For example, in one study from 2013, more than 6,000 older adults were studied over 4 years. People who reported having fewer social contacts and activities at the beginning of the study showed greater cognitive decline in cognitive functioning, which was measured by verbal fluency and memory recall tasks. In addition, studies of animals and humans experiencing social isolation have identified several brain structures that appear to be affected by a lack of social connection, which are the prefrontal cortex, the hippocampus, and the amygdala. As a refresher, the prefrontal cortex is an important region of the brain for decision making and social behavior. In some studies, people who are experiencing chronic social isolation have been found to have reduced brain volumes in the prefrontal cortex. The hippocampus is a complex brain structure in the temporal lobe that plays a major role in learning and memory. Humans and animals that experience social isolation may have a smaller than normal hippocampus and reduced concentrations of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, both features associated with impaired learning and memory. Lastly, the amygdala is a region in the brain that plays a pivotal role in memory and processing emotions. Researchers have found a correlation between the size of a person's social network and the volume of their amygdala, and more recent evidence suggests that the amygdala is smaller in people who are socially isolated. Healthy relationships also promote the release of beneficial hormones and brain chemicals. One such hormone and brain neurotransmitter is oxytocin, which is released when we bond with significant others, hug our children, or even pet our pets. Studies have shown that oxytocin elevates mood and self-esteem and decreases physical pain. The release of oxytocin also has a calming effect and enhances the experience of empathy and emotional connection. Here are 7 proven health benefits from sharing a healthy relationship. Number 1, we live longer. 2, we heal quicker and have better recovery times. 3, we have lower blood pressure, as I mentioned before. 4, we bolster our immune systems. 5, we are more physically fit. 6, we enjoy good heart health. And 7, we feel less pain. Loving relationships make us happy and healthy, from improving our immune system and blood pressure to helping us heal quicker and enjoy life longer. A happy relationship is life's greatest medicine. It is important to recognize that loneliness is different from isolation. Feeling lonely can be considered a problem, but being alone may not be a problem at all. Many people live alone and have happy, fulfilling lives. Feeling lonely can be really hard to cope with. Luckily, there are some things that you can do to tackle loneliness. For instance, you can nurture healthy relationships with people who make you feel good by spending time with them, whether in person or if you're preferring to do things digitally right now, and by trying to talk with someone every day. Research shows that feelings of loneliness are on the rise even before the pandemic began. Hopefully things will begin to open back up soon when things are safer, and we will begin to see improvements in our own levels of loneliness. Loneliness is a discrepancy between what you want and what you have, and it is something that all of us deal with from time to time. Feelings of loneliness do not always happen when we are socially isolated. They can happen when we are surrounded by others. Loneliness is defined by people's levels of satisfaction with their connectedness or their perceived social isolation. Another interesting study was done by AARP, and it focused on socialization and brain health of adults aged 40 and over, and found that although most people are at least somewhat socially engaged, with an average of 19 people in their social networks, a surprising 37% said that they sometimes lacked companionship, and 35% found it hard to engage socially, and nearly 3 in 10 said that they felt socially isolated. Overall, the survey revealed that 1 in 5 adults over the age of 40 were disconnected socially. That's important because adults who said they were happy with their friends and social activities were more likely to report an increase in their memory and thinking skills than in the previous 5 years, while those who were unsatisfied with their social lives reported the opposite, that their cognitive abilities had declined. How greater sociability enhances brain health is not yet fully understood, but experts say interacting with others in meaningful ways may provide a buffer against the harmful effects of stress on the brain. In the survey, men and women ages 60 and over felt more socially engaged and happier with their relationships than those between the age of 40 and 59, which was really interesting. If you're feeling socially isolated or experiencing feelings of loneliness, there are people who can help, such as the resident services team here at Crest. As I said earlier, resident services is available to Crest independent living residents, and what matters to you matters to us. We want to walk alongside of you however it makes sense to you to help you get connected to resources and supports that may be of interest or benefit to you based on your personal circumstances. We can be reached at 303-876-8274, and you're welcome to connect with us even if you just want a listening ear. We're here and happy to help. As for resources to help with loneliness and feelings of social isolation, we have Annette Camerano, the medical center social worker here at Crest, who is glad to make counseling appointments with residents. Additionally, we are happy to get you connected with resources outside of Crest as well. I will have the resident services and the medical center social workers' contact information listed at the end of this video for your convenience. So you may be wondering, how can I increase my social connection or positive relationships? Whether you're an introvert or feel as though you might not have as much or enough social connections, find peace in knowing that the benefits of social connections is not about how many people you interact with or how many friends you have, but it's about your subjective and internal sense of connection. So I have good news for you guys. Making new friends is possible, and there are small steps that you can take, such as the following, to start connecting with others. So first, focus on relationships and activities that you enjoy the most. Reach out to professionals who can help you. Ask others for help in removing barriers to social isolation or social interaction, like difficulty getting around. Make it a point to connect regularly with relatives, friends, and neighbors, and please keep in mind that digital contact counts too, which is so important right now during the pandemic. Maintain social connection with people of different ages. Add a new relationship or activity that you haven't tried before. And if you're already active socially, try diversifying your activities. As long as you feel connected with others on the inside, you will still get the benefits of being connected. You could have 1,000 friends and still feel low in connection, but you could also have no close friends or relatives and still feel very connected from within. An internal sense of connection can be nurtured and built by giving, sharing, supporting, and doing acts of service and kindness for others. Research shows that compassion and volunteering have huge health benefits and create a sense of connection and purpose. As always, it is so important to take care of yourself. Stress is linked to a high self-focus and therefore a lower sense of connection. If you're happy from within, then you are also more likely to feel connected and reach out to others and to make the world a happier and more positive and compassionate place. Don't hesitate to ask for help. Research shows that if we need help, we should ask for it, and this will create belonging to those we ask. We all need help from time to time, and truthfully, none of us would get by in our lives without a little bit of help, kindness, and compassion from others. Research shows that people are willing to help us, but if we don't ask, they might assume that we don't need help. Reach out to those around you, even if it's just to say hello or to check in. One way to strengthen your social connections is to reach out to people that you already know, such as family, friends, and neighbors. Give someone a call or write them an email or a letter and let them know that you would really like to be in touch with them more often. How we bond and stay attached to others is at the core of our resilience, self-esteem, and well-being. Parents build the brains of their children through their interactions with them, and we keep our brains growing and changing throughout life by staying connected to others. Not all strategies will work for everyone, so try some different approaches and see what works for you. If the first thing that you try doesn't work out, then just try something different. The idea of social connection is to share your time, experiences, and stories with people, and also to listen to them. Gradually, you will build a group of people in your life who care about you and who you also care about. Both your mind and your body will reap the benefits and rewards. Once again, I encourage you to watch the 2 videos that are linked down below. The first is called The Power and Science of Social Connection and is presented by Dr. Emma Sapala, who is a science journalist and author and the Associate Director of the Center for Compassion and Altruism Research and Education at Stanford University. Dr. Emma Sapala shared the power of having positive relationships and connections in our lives. The second video that I encourage you to watch is called The Need for Human Connection and Why It Starts with Ourselves, and is presented by Molly Carroll, who is a self-help author. In that video, Molly shares a personal story that demonstrates the need for us to allow others into our lives when we need them the most, rather than pushing those who care about us away. As we wrap up today's Brain Boosters video, remember that we are only as socially connected as we feel, and that is what's important. If you're deeply satisfied with your social connectedness and amount of positive relationships, then you're on the right track for a healthy life. However, if you're experiencing feelings of loneliness or desire more social interaction, probably like most of us right now during the pandemic, please feel welcome to reach out to resident services, and we're happy to partner with you to provide the resources that might be a good fit for you. It is vital for our health that we connect with others around us in the best ways that we can right now, so that we can feel a part of something greater, whether that's a relationship or a part of the community. I encourage you to reach out to your neighbors, friends, and family members in whichever ways make sense to you during this time. It could lead to a more balanced, positive life with many health benefits along the way. Thanks so much for watching this month's Brain Boosters video. As I mentioned, I will have the resident services team and the medical center social workers contact information listed at the end of this video, and also you'll see the 2 videos that I recommend pop up on the screen at the end of the video, and also you'll be able to find those the links in the description box below. And as always, Resident Services is here and happy to help, and we would really love to hear from you. I will see you next month.